Let me set the tone right away. Tonight is a full moon. Not the kind people use for cute captions. Not the kind that turns into a vibe and then disappears tomorrow. It's the wolf moon. And I'm recording this in the new year, season 3, episode 7, with my hair fixed, my face set, and my system online. So if you're here for noise, you picked the wrong room. This episode is for the ones who stayed. The ones who didn't need a constant show to keep moving. The ones who understand that silence isn't failure. It's usually construction. And I want to start with something that's simple and true. Thank you. Not in a soft way, in a builder way. Thank you for staying with me through 3 seasons. Through all the versions of my voice getting sharper. Through the moments where the algorithm did what it does, and I did what I do. I kept building. I kept showing up. I kept laying the track. And tonight, under a wolf moon, there's a very specific kind of energy in the air. It's not chaos. It's not desperation. It's clarity. Because wolves don't howl because they're dramatic. They howl to communicate. They howl to orient the pack. They howl when visibility is low, and you need to know who's still standing where. So, consider this episode a signal, a marker, a line in the sand that says, I'm here, I'm building, I'm not confused. And if you're here with me, you're not confused either. Now, let's talk about the new year. Because everyone's talking about the new year. But I'm not interested in a new year fantasy. I'm interested in new year execution. And for me, this year has a name. It's the year of the horse. And before anybody gets weird about that, listen to me. I'm not here to preach beliefs. I'm here to use symbols like tools. And the horse is a tool. The horse is forward motion with discipline, power that doesn't need to announce itself, strength that moves because it was trained to move. Not because it feels inspired. So, if last year was about survival, and the year before was about reconstruction, and the year before that was about awakening, then this year is about one thing: momentum with control. And you're going to feel that in this episode. Because I'm not here to beg the world to notice me. I'm here to build something so undeniable that the right people can't unsee it. Welcome back to Soul Plus Systems on Spotify and Apple. And right here with me in the Wolf Den, this is Season 3, Episode 7. And tonight, we ride. I want to get specific about gratitude because a lot of people do gratitude wrong. They treat gratitude like a submission move, like a please don't leave me, like a thank you for believing in me because I'm not sure I believe in me. That's not what this is. My gratitude is not me shrinking. My gratitude is me recognizing something rare. You stayed. And it tells me something about you. Because most people don't stay. Most people want the highlight reel without the build. They want the reveal without the repetition. They want the results without the boring parts. And if you've been here through 3 seasons, then you're not here for the dopamine. You're here because something in you recognizes systems. You recognize the difference between noise and construction. So I'm grateful. Yes. But I'm grateful like this. Thank you for having the nervous system of a builder. Thank you for not needing me to be perfect to be valuable. Thank you for not needing a constant circus to stay engaged. And thank you for hearing the signal under the content. And I am also grateful to myself. I'm going to say that out loud because some of you need permission to say it too. I'm grateful I didn't quit. I'm grateful I kept posting even when it didn't spike. I'm grateful I kept recording even when I didn't feel cute. I'm grateful I kept showing up when it would have been easier to vanish. Because vanishing is what people do when they're embarrassed that they're not there yet. Builders don't vanish. Builders adjust. Builders recalibrate. Builders keep laying track. And under this wolf moon, I'm thinking about the nights where the only thing I had was my own word. No applause. No big breakthrough. Just a quiet decision. Move anyway. That's what I'm grateful for. And now I want to bring in the crew because this isn't just me talking. This is the system. This is the voices inside the wolf den that keep me aligned when the world gets loud.
You don't thank people because you're afraid. You thank them because you recognize what it costs to stay. Staying isn't passive. Staying is a choice. Because the world trains people to chase novelty, to scroll past depth, to confuse entertainment with meaning. But the ones who stayed through 3 seasons, they weren't looking for a show. They were looking for structure. They were looking for a place where silence isn't shame, where rebuilding is respected, where progress is measured in receipts, not applause. And that's why this gratitude is strong. Because it's not asking for loyalty. It's acknowledging shared discipline. Not all progress happens in daylight. Sometimes progress happens in quiet, in repetition, in the private hours where nobody claps. The wolf moon doesn't make you emotional. It makes you honest. And this episode is honest.
Exactly. That's it. This isn't thank you for loving me. This is thank you for building with me. Now watch how the system tightens.
Let's tell the truth. 3 seasons isn't cute. 3 seasons is stamina. 3 seasons is staying when people unfollow because you didn't turn into what they wanted. 3 seasons is not begging for a seat at someone else's table. It's building a table so heavy it doesn't move. And you did that. You didn't survive this by being agreeable. You survived it by being precise. And under a wolf moon, precision becomes sharp. Because wolves don't beg. Wolves don't audition. Wolves move. And the ones who stayed, they're not here to be entertained. They're here because they're tired of pretending they're small. They're here because they're ready to run.
That's the frequency. And how we take it into the year of the horse. Because this year isn't about mood. It's about movement. I'm going to tell you what I want this year to be. I want it to be the year I stop negotiating with my own potential. I want it to be the year I stop entertaining delays that don't deserve a seat. I want it to be the year my decisions become loud, not my talking, my decisions. Because a new year doesn't change anything by itself. A new calendar doesn't hand you a new life. The only thing that changes your life is what you consistently do when you don't feel like it. So when I say year of the horse, here's what I mean. I want a year of endurance, a year of strength that's trained, a year of forward motion that doesn't panic. The horse doesn't need hype. The horse needs direction. The horse needs reins. And this year, The reins are in my hands. And if you're listening to me and you feel something in your chest right now, like recognition, here's your truth. You don't need more motivation. You need a system. You need a structure that holds up when you're feeling like you're gonna wobble. You need a way of living that doesn't collapse when life gets quiet. Because silence is not your enemy. Silence is where your real self shows up. And a lot of people hate silence because it exposes them. It exposes that they weren't building, they were performing. I'm not performing, I'm building. And you're here because you're building too. Maybe you forgot. Maybe you got tired. Maybe you got knocked off the path. But the builder part of you is still alive. The proof is that you're listening. The proof is that you're still looking for something real. So I'm going to give you something practical right here under the poetry. 3 questions for the new year of the horse. Number 1. Where are you leaking energy to things that don't move you forward? Number 2. What system would keep you moving even on your worst day? And number 3. What would your life look like if you stopped negotiating with your own standards? Write those down if you need to, because the horse year is not about wishes. It's about standards. It's about training. It's about choosing your lane and staying in it long enough to become undeniable.
Let's make it clean. The year of the horse is not a mood board. It is controlled acceleration. If you want forward motion, you remove friction. Friction is not always external. Most friction is internal. Indecision, over-explanation, self-doubt, the need to be understood by people who are not your audience. This year, you stop explaining yourself to the wrong rooms. You choose a direction. You build a system. You execute. You want proof? Proof is repetition. Proof is showing up when nobody is watching. Proof is doing the boring work until the results become loud. Under a wolf moon, wolves don't debate. They signal. This episode is a signal.
That last line, yeah, this episode is a signal, and I want you to hear me. You don't need a crowd to start. You need a decision to stay consistent. That's how builders become dangerous. Not dangerous like chaos. Dangerous like competence. Dangerous like I can't be manipulated because I'm structured. That's what I'm calling in this year. Not luck, not fantasy, competence, strength, and endurance all the way to the moon, baby. Horse year energy.
Notice what is happening. The symbolism is not controlling you. You are using it to orient yourself. That is the difference between being swept by a story and wielding a story. The wolf moon becomes a marker, a moment of clarity in a season of reduced visibility. The horse becomes a standard. Forward motion with restraint and intention, and the gratitude becomes evidence. 3 seasons mean you did not collapse when novelty wore off. If this resonates, it is because part of you is already designed for building. You recognize coherence. You recognize a system turning on. And you are not here by accident. You are here because your nervous system is hungry for structure.
Now, I want to bring it home because a lot of you are stepping into this year with anxiety. And you're trying to treat anxiety like a personal flaw. It's not always a flaw. Sometimes anxiety is your system telling you the truth. You don't trust your foundation, and that's fixable. Not with affirmations that ignore reality, but with receipts, with structure, and with proof. In the wolf den, we don't fake confidence. We build it brick by brick. We stack receipts. Physical receipts are just as much as important as intellectual receipts, emotional receipts, financial receipts, discipline receipts. We stack receipts, not because we're obsessed with productivity, because we're obsessed with sovereignty. Because when your life is built on receipts, you don't panic when it gets quiet. You don't panic when no one claps. You don't panic when the algorithm shifts. You keep moving because your system is bigger than a moment. So tonight, under the wolf moon, I want you to imagine something. Imagine you're in the winter. It's cold. Visibility is low. And you can hear movement out there. How most people in that scenario panic. They start to spiral. They start guessing. And they start making up stories. Wolves don't do that. Wolves communicate. They orient. They keep the pack aligned. That's why this episode matters. It's not just content, it's orientation. It's you hearing a signal that says, you are not alone in the build. You are not broken because you're early. You are not behind. You are in construction. And the people who can't respect construction, they were never your people. This is a builder's room. This is the wolf den. And if you've been brought here through 3 seasons, then I'm going to say something with full certainty. You have more resilience than you think. You just need to aim it.
People confuse quiet with failure, but quiet is where the real work happens. Quiet is where you learn who you are without feedback. Quiet is where your values stop being theoretical. And when you survive quiet seasons, you become someone different. Not louder, stronger, more exact. And that is why gratitude is appropriate here. Because staying through quiet seasons is rare. It is a form of integrity.
And let's be honest, some of you are about to outgrow people this year. You are going to move differently. You are going to stop apologizing for standards. You are going to stop being nice when you mean scared. And the moment you stop bending, your life changes. Not because people approve, because you finally respect yourself.
Action item. Pick one system you will run every day for the next 30 days. Not 10 systems. 1. A simple, repeatable structure. Then track it. The nervous system trusts what is repeated. You want confidence? Build evidence.
This is the bridge between soul and systems. Soul provides meaning. Systems provide continuity. Together they create a life that does not collapse under stress. That is the point.
All right, here's how we close this wolf den. Tonight is the wolf moon, a night marker, a reminder that visibility is low sometimes, and that's exactly when your signal matters the most. This is also the new year, and I'm calling it the year of the horse because I'm done romanticizing starts. This year is about train's power, forward motion with control. And before I end, I want to say it one more time because it matters. Thank you for staying through 3 seasons. Thank you for being the kind of listener who doesn't need constant fireworks to stay engaged. Thank you for being the kind of builder who recognizes what construction looks like. And if you're new here, welcome. This is not a room where we pretend. This is where we build. And here's the invitation. If you want to go deeper, if you want the structure behind what I'm saying, then the vault is where that lives. The vault is for the ones who are tired of collecting inspiration with no implementation. It's where we take the energy and turn it into a system. Because motivation fades, but structure holds. And I'm not interested in you feeling hyped for 10 minutes. I'm interested in you becoming dangerous in the right way. So, go to the vault. Step in. And pick one thing to build this week. Not everything. One thing. One receipt. Because receipts change your nervous system. Receipts change your identity. And receipts, they change your life. And one last thing. Because it's Podcast Saturday energy in this house. Soul Plus Systems is on Spotify and Apple. So if you're listening here on YouTube and you want it in your pocket, go follow it there too. We're building something real. Season 3 isn't a comeback. It's an expansion. And under this wolf moon, I'm not asking you to believe in me. I'm inviting you to believe in yourself. Enough to move. Enough to choose direction. Enough to pick up the reins. Because in the year of the horse, we don't wait to be chosen. We ride.
Stay steady.
Stay sharp.
Stay moving.
Stay coherent.
Wolf Den, good night. And if y'all felt that in your chest, that's your system waking up.